when we have an athlete and we don't know for sure, and then Levi walks by, and when he starts barking or growling, we know something's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a perfect intro to the video. We're sitting here with Rose, all the way from Amsterdam, from Jiu Jitsu Queenz. She is competing at her 4th Worlds this year on Saturday in the black belt division. Brought the whole family, the toddler along. We're doing some really exciting stuff with Jiu Jitsu Queenz with Rose. We're working on the camp that's in July, correct?
Yes.
With Brianna Ste-Marie. Designed a really beautiful collection that's going to highlight some of the local flowers and a little bit of everything and the color palette for Jiu Jitsu Queenz. But while we have you here, we wanted to just kind of like give it a little rundown of what is Jiu Jitsu Queenz, what was the inspiration behind it, what drove you to start it, and yeah.
Sure. Well, thank you. I think Jiu Jitsu Queenz originally started because I wanted to do a little event, like a get-together for women to train, because where I train and where a lot of women in Europe train, there are usually not that many female training partners. So I decided to create an event, ask another brown belt woman at the time, that was the first edition, to teach, and just see how many girls would turn up. So that was in 2016, that was the first edition, and I was doing it once a year. The first turnout was like 20, 25 girls, and it was
pretty
really
good for
fun.
the first one, yeah.
Yeah, it was good. And I mean, I went all the way with like prepping lunch for everyone and like doing all the small stuff.
How European of you.
Yes.
But yeah, you were saying that you started it 8 years ago. Obviously,
Yes.
you started it was much smaller, but now it's become quite the event, right?
It has
and
been.
you've done quite a few at this point.
Yes, yeah, I started like once a year, and then at some point the interest just grew kind of naturally. I never intended for it to be as big as it is now, but for some kind of reason it just started growing, and I had to switch to a bigger venue to be able to like host all the girls, and yeah, people just kept coming back and new people kept coming, so it's been really cool to see how it started from like a very small sized event and then turning into something much bigger. And I also feel like it became something bigger than just an event or like just a weekend where you go for training. It really became a community, so that's been really cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, looking back at Worlds years and years and years ago, brown belts used to compete against black belts, you know, like blue and purple, I think, even competed at one point against each other. There was not a lot of women, especially when you were starting your event first, so having 20 people early on, that's a pretty good sized crowd. But now, you know, we talked about this earlier, women are like traveling all over the world. They're going to Thailand to train Muay Thai, they're doing events, they're competing. I mean, I want to say that, you know, like I mentioned to you earlier, I'm not supposed to pick any favorite athletes, but Adele and Brianna and Anna really have been putting, I feel like, women's jiu-jitsu on the spot, have been growing it a lot. Adele had an incredible run at ADCC. I don't really think that gap that was there years ago, I don't really think that's something that we should be looking at nowadays anymore.
Not
I think.
at all, not at all. And I feel like, as you say, like so many women in jiu-jitsu have been doing incredible things, and I'm not going to compare like whether they did better than the men or worse than the men, because we're not in a competition with each other.
Right.
But I do see that, like you say, like what Adele did at ADCC and like how Brianna took off this year.
Switching from the gi to no gi.
Yeah. I really feel like women are here.
They're exciting to watch.
Yes.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So you said you got your black belt from Leo Vieira, right? And where do you train in Amsterdam?
So I train at a gym called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Academy Amsterdam. We are affiliated with Checkmat, so we're under Leo Vieira, and he gave me my black belt in 2019. So that's the gym where I train and teach. The gym was founded by my boyfriend and a friend of his, so they run it, and I'm teaching there. And yeah, also training, so that's like my home base. I used to run Jiu Jitsu Queenz there, so I did the events in the gym there. But as I said, we kind of outgrew the space, so now we're in a different venue in Amsterdam. Yeah.
So what's the deal with this year's event? Is this might be one of the biggest ones that you've put on so far? Or, you know, what's the lay of the land for it?
I think this event is going to be different in a sense that it's going to be summer, which is already like a special time in Amsterdam to be, because we don't get that much sun during the rest of the year. So like it being a summer event really has like a special touch to it, because the canals are lovely when you walk outside, and
You
like,
just smell it in the air.
yeah, the whole city just
Yeah.
vibes. So I think that's something really special. Also, it's going to be Brianna's second time coming here. So I think a lot of girls who might have missed her the first time, they're definitely turning up now to see her. And as I said, like, Brianna has been taking off as a competitor.
Yeah.
I think the first time when she was here was February 2024. She was already a great competitor, great athlete. But I think now she like really carries a different type of confidence, and I'm very happy also to see. I think it's really cool to see how she also like, she's really strong, but also like being vulnerable, speaking up about mental health. So.
She's the perfect balance between this like really sweet looking school librarian squinting, and then when she takes off her glasses and steps on the mat, she just turned it into a complete competitor.
Yeah.
You know, and she's so fun to watch.
Yes.
How do you structure the weekends, the events? Like, is it gi, no gi? Is it a little bit of both? Is it up to Brianna or the teacher?
So we have our classes already planned out, gi or no gi. I used to do the class as like a technical part and then an open mat right after. Now, since like the last edition, I decided to split that and really have dedicated sessions that are focused on technique, and then there will be a separate open mat later in the day, just for people to actually focus on the training and dedicate time on that. And then if you want to roll, do open mat, then there's like a separate space for that. So that is something that's been like a recent update. Also, because it's summer, we're going to be doing a lot of other fun stuff. So we have a beach volleyball activity. We're going to go to dinner on Saturday night. I actually have an extra day, which is the Thursday, the day before the camp actually starts. Yeah, it's like a pre-date where we're going to go with a little group through the city. So we're going to rent a boat and like see the city.
You got to
from
do the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to go to the market, get the best stroopwafels. So like the full Amsterdam experience, that is something new that I added this edition. And I
That's
think it's
awesome.
going to be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Where else do you want to go with Jiu Jitsu Queenz? What's your, if you had unlimited resources, where would you like to take it?
The big picture.
Yeah, the big picture.
I mean, as a side quest, or maybe like a yearly side quest.
Yeah.
I think it would be super cool to take Jiu Jitsu Queenz like a little bit further abroad, maybe like Thailand, Indonesia, like somewhere in Asia.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool. On like the bigger picture, what I'm already seeing that is kind of happening with the camps is people come and they like meet each other, they connect, they maybe come to another edition, or they bump into each other at a tournament or another event, and I really feel there's like this community that's already there. I would like to have women connect with each other online as well, so they don't have to be present at the event every time, but still feel that they're part of the Jiu Jitsu Queenz community, which is already there, but I feel like it needs a little bit to be a little bit more structured or concrete.
Yeah, so basically giving them that safe space that they get to experience in person, but having some sort of online forum or somewhere where they can all meet and ask the same questions, because I'm sure there's a lot of things that from woman to woman that you want to have some sort of like level of privacy talking about, or like wanting to get input without, noisy people, without men getting involved necessarily.
Yeah, it's like the locker room talk that you that you would get if you would have like a big crowd of women training together. And I think that's like the underlying like magic of Jiu Jitsu Queenz. I feel that there's so much like recognition, and so there's so many topics that resonate with all women, because we all go through like the same thing, we all do the same stuff, and I feel like it would be great for people to have access to that year round, to actually be in touch with each other in that way. Yeah,
that's beautiful. I think that's good. Yeah.
Okay.
So Jiu Jitsu Queenz happening July
3 to 6
in Amsterdam. And then hopefully there's going to be an announcement for another one maybe later that year or next year. Yes. There's more coming.
Yes. September or October, I'm going to do the Ottoman edition.
Okay.
I am talking with an instructor now. Things haven't crystallized out yet, but I hope to be announcing that soon as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming through.
Thank
I'll
you.
see you this weekend.
Yes.